So, very good morning, everyone. So, I will talk about the supracortical hemorrhage, that is expulsive hemorrhage. I think it little bit overlap between the Dr. Kelkar's topic and my topic, but still, it is these are all varieties of condition that you should experience. Okay, yes. This is the supracortical space. It is a potential space between the sclera and choroid. Normally, it contains actually virtually potential space that contains 10 microliter of fluid. And supracortical hemorrhage is a rare condition defined as a collection of blood in the supracortical space that is in between sclera and choroid. The incidence after ocular surgery it is 0.04 to 1%. The common predisposition factors, for the development of SCAs, that is supracortical hemorrhage, are advanced stage glaucoma, increased axial length. In myopia, it is also reported as an increased risk of supracortical hemorrhage is there. Poorly controlled hypertension and diabetic mellitus, because the arteriosclerotic changes it make the arterial wall more stiffer, and aphakic state, history of vitreous loss, use of anticoagulant or antiplatelet medications. So, what are the signs of expulsive hemorrhage? It is like you should be always the condition should be always in your mind. What are the signs? Like if the AC is shallowing and there is bulging forwards of the iris diaphragm and vitreous starts swelling out of the limbal section, iris prolapse, and there is prolapse of the vitreous through the wound. So all these things are very much detrimental for signs. That is ominous sign for development of this expulsive hemorrhage. The primary management, it is obviously tight closure of the wound, because you have to make the eye absolutely airtight, and posterior radial sclerotomy immediately after during the surgery. It is also an option, but still posterior or radial sclerotomy people are hardly nowadays doing it. So, a common indication for surgical drainage of supracortical hemorrhage are extreme. The patient is having extreme pain, persistent flat anterior chamber, uncontrolled elevated intraocular pressure, retinal detachment, central choroidal apposition, retinal or vitreous incarceration in the wound, or inability to deposit all the intraocular contents. So, for secondary management of expulsive hemorrhage, it is always necessary to refer to a VR colleague. Post-operative, anytime you can do it till 2 weeks. And ideal time for the drainage, it is 7 to 14 days prior to surgery, after primary surgery, because for the adequate clot lysis it is required. So surgical management described earlier, it was the radial sclerotomy combined with vitrectomy and use of perfluorocarbon liquid and silicone oil. So that is, you are doing the radial sclerotomy and using this cycloanalysis spatula, what Dr. Kelkar was showing, that using the spatula, and you can just you can just keep the one part of the this scleral wound depressed, and so that the intraocular that the blood clot from the supraocular space will easily come out. So use of anterior chamber maintenance is another option, and SCS drainage through the anteriorly placed 23 gauge non-valve cannula, followed by vitrectomy and PFCL, along with ending with the silicone oil. So our technique was to inject, after doing vitrectomy, inject PFCL inside the vitreous cavity, and keep the and make a posteriorly placed non-valve trocar cannula inside the supracortical space, so that externally passive drainage of blood will be possible. So, like in this case of expulsive hemorrhage, you can see preoperatively there was almost like kissing choroidals. So I put all the trocar cannula complex at a 23 gauge surgery, and make sure all the trocar cannula complex are inside the vitreous cavity. And there is a lot of vitreous hemorrhage. You can see the temporal, there is huge choroidals, hardly you can see anything. So I go through the temporal side using the 23 gauge trocar valve, and then remove the trocar, and then the injected PFCL from inside, and external passive drainage of blood was possible in a sutureless way. Now remove the PFCL at the end of surgery, and inject silicone oil, especially 5000 cc stroke at the end of surgery, so that it is not necessary, it is not mandatory to remove all the suprachoroidal blood in a single go, but still by that over the time period of time, this suprachoroidal hemorrhage will be vanished. So this is the preoperative picture. You can see ACIOL, hyphema, and hemorrhagic kissing choroidals, vitreous hemorrhage, retinal detachment. And posteriorly, there is no suprachoroidal hemorrhage in the right side. You can see there is, and in the ultrasonography, although I have not removed the oil after the surgery. So this is another case where initially I tried with the started the case with the AC maintainer, and there was two quadrant expulsive hemorrhage. So I from the temporal side, I put the multiple trocar cannula complex posteriorly placed 10 millimeters behind the limbus into the supraocular space and remove the trocar blade multiple. You can see the dark color blood is coming out, and after completion of vitrectomy, inject the PFCL again and external passive for the external more passive drainage of supraocular blood in a sutureless. So you can see the dark color blood is coming out, and finally removed all the PFCL and inject silicone oil at the end of surgery. After 3 months of doing this primary surgery, I gone for this oil removal followed by glued oil implantation. And at that time, the expulsive was almost nearly resolved. You can see that I have confirmed preoperatively and so on intraoperatively. And patient finally gained excellent vision, 6/9 finally. Patient recovered from this devastating situation. This is another situation where hemorrhagic casing choroidals and total retinal detachment you can detect on the ultrasonography, but amount of expulsive hemorrhage and amount of detachment, it's not well understood. So you can see the slit-like anterior breaks were visible in the periphery, and after doing vitrectomy, I just marked my cauterized these breaks and then try to find out what is the disc and inject PFCL just over the disc to visualize it. And slowly you can see the fluid is coming out through the anteriorly pressed breaks, and I have aspirated it out little bit. Then you can judge the actual elevation of the suprachoroidal is not that much. So the detachment was more, suprachoroidal was less. So I settled the RD, and you can see this underlying expulsive drainage is also is visible. Now I have already injected PFCL. Now I have to do the peripheral vitreous base excision as much as possible. It's not always possible to do the vitreous excision very thoroughly, especially in a geopathy situation like this. And then I introduce my trocar corona obliquely into the supraocular space and remove the trocar blade for the external passive drainage of blood. And blood was not that much, but still I drained it a little bit, and then I settled the retina and do laser at the end of surgery. I remove PFCL and injected silicone oil 5000 centistroke. This is the preoperative condition, and this is the postoperative situation. And this is another case where 78 years old lady with history of attempted phaco came to our clinic with residual lens matter and a lot of apposition and choroid. You can see expulsive hemorrhage. So I started the case with 25 gauge trocar cannula complex. And even when I am just putting my trocar cannula complex, the little bit of blood was coming out. Then again, I started with the AC maintainer. Then I removed all the lens material, residual doing lensectomy, and did vitrectomy. And there was again retinal detachment as well as expulsive. This combination, deadly combination, I should say, because all these situations carrying very poor prognosis. Then I introduced my trocar corona complex obliquely into the supraocular space, posteriorly placed macula's. So, and you can see the dark colored lyse blood is coming out. If you do this kind of surgery, initial period just after 3-4 days of surgery, the blood will not come out because a lot of blood is already in clotted state. So you have to give time for the clot lysis. Then I'm doing some kind of gentle massage just to mobilize the suprachoroidal blood into the choroidal, like this 25 gauge port. And again, I put multiple cannula drainage. It is possible to make the suprachoroidal blood as much can be drained as possible. So 23 gauge, initially I started with 23 gauge, then I shifted to 25 gauge. By the course of time, it is nowadays 25 gauge. 23 or 25 is good enough. Is good enough. So I completed my vitrectomy and made one small retinotomy in the supratemporal quadrant and injected the PFCL. Again, PFCL guided blood drainage was done, and you can see the slowly, still the elevation is not gone. So I again put one more port for the more complete drainage of suprachoroidal blood. And finally, I can see the macula. So now I put one 6 millimeter 23 gauge long trocan cannula to make the infusion put inside the vitreous cavity. Then I drained all the subretinal fluid and removed PVSCL, did laser as well as around the break, and finally injected 5000 cc of silicone oil at the end of surgery for the constant endotamponading action for quite a long time. And finally, you can see after 3 weeks, patient gain 4/60 vision, and after 8 weeks, patient gain 6/24 vision. So you can see the oil and retina gap is still there because the choroidal has gone, retina is attached. Now there is volume deficit kind of. So this is the good prognosis. These are the cases, two quadrant cases, and bad prognosis is always the hemorrhagic choroidal retina incarceration, kissing choroidals. These are all bad prognosis cases. So we have published our technique in IJO in the year 2021, and so take-home message are postoperative suprachoroidal hemorrhage are always and can be salvageable. So modified posterior drainage of SCH is beneficial. A multiple cannula guided drainage is required to complete drainage in a sutureless way. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhendu. And what a transformation in the prognosis of the suprachoroidal hemorrhages. Few years back, we used to lose all these eyes. Now we are salvaging most of these eyes. It's a fantastic. You have shown the way forward, Subhendu.
Thank you.